Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
On the newspaper page, and love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. It's the bigger love of the family.
Muted. Now my mic is no longer muted. Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Welcome in to the show. Welcome in to Chief Talk. We are so happy to see you. We are so sad to have missed you over the last week. But I tell you what, last week was really, really cool. Hopefully you're doing well. I see some comments about the some formatting things. There are 2 links to the show. There is a vertical link. And there is a wide format like normal. So you'll have to let me know what you think about it. Do you I mean, can you see both links? Let me know. It's the first time I've seen this since the update. I don't know if this was available last week or not. So we're playing around with it tonight. We may not end up doing this going forward. Facebook is the original way, but YouTube has 2 separate streams going on. So if you are not wanting the vertical view, go over to your subscriptions, click the other video, and it should populate like normal. So I'm actually going to get out of this camera view and do this just for those who are on that vertical view, because I know my camera gets really, really small with that background asset going. Hopefully you're doing well. Excuse me, sorry. Hopefully you've had a fantastic week. 2 weeks since I've seen you last. Want to give a big shout out to Cigar Pops, Supreme Tobacco Banker, John, Gary Zandstrom, Michael Zakovat, Mac Brugger, Jay Bates, Jim Jursic, Bob Ellis. There's Bob the Cigar Guy as well. Fireborn, welcome into the show. Hope you're doing well. Sammy Flo, welcome in. Ronald Smith, welcome in. Dryer use not intended. I don't know what that means. Hopefully, you guys are having a good night. Hopefully, you guys have had a good week, a good 2 weeks, and you're ready to sit back, smoke some cigars, and have a good night. So without further ado, I'm gonna do let's do this one and then add it to the stage. I'm gonna come over here and check the format and see how Bob Cigar looks on the vertical view. I'm gonna mute his mic, and it looks like it's working. What does this do? There we go. So we do this because this changes how the vertical view looks. You can see my face is a little better if I put the comments. Oh, you can see the comments on the vertical view as well. Banker John says, smash that like button. Do smash that like button. So, again, if you are in the vertical view, let me go do this. Let me look at this myself. Let me see. Bob Cigar, how are you doing this evening?
I'm great. And by the way, to answer about Jim Jurasik's comment, caution dry use not intended, you shrank.
Oh, got it.
The little thing. So,
okay.
That was funny.
Got it. All right. So I see our live stream on vertical view. And I see ours. Okay, so yeah, on YouTube, this is YouTube. We do have it old school way, right, where you can see the stream just like that. If I remove the comments, it'll show you side by side. So if you're watching on TV, you can see like that. Also, we have this view now going on at the same time. So this will be a lot of fun. So if you're looking for the video not to be vertical, back out, you'll get the horizontal landscape view, and it'll be there. It does show two different viewerships amounts. There's 5 people watching in vertical, 5 people watching in horizontal, and 2 people on Facebook. Welcome in, everybody. Semi-float the like button on Facebook. Thank you very much. If you are here and having a good time, please do go and smash. Where's it at? Smash the like button over on YouTube. Also hit the subscribe button so you're not missing out on anything. And if you're over on Facebook, do the same thing for us. Hit that like and follow. Hit the notification bell to never lose an upload from Bob the Cigar Guy or a Chief Talk. All right, so let me get that off the screen. Let me come turn Jay Bates' slow jam music off. It's been 2 weeks since we last saw you, Bob the Cigar Guy. How come you didn't do Chief Talk last week?
Because I was at a local purveyor lounge in the middle of Thursday? So that was the foundation event. Nope, that was the Fuente event. Foundation was Wednesday.
It was the Jose Blanco sit-down event for Fuente Cigars,
which was one of the most amazing. I can count on my hands different opportunities I've got to spend dealing in the cigar industry with people and just saying, God, that was just epic. I was just glad I was there. He showed up an hour early. There was only 4 people in the shop when I showed up, and he came in and he ended up sitting down right next to me, and I monopolized so much of his time asking questions, and he's just hilarious. We had a blast. He's a great individual. If you ever get a chance to go to an event where he is, I highly recommend going, because it is worth.
They don't happen often. We were very fortunate enough to have the opportunity. Honestly, I'm not sure what kind of led to the opportunity other than just, hey, are you free to have Jose Blanco come by your shop and debut a brand new cigar? And my boss said, yeah, absolutely. So
actually, I think he reached out and he said, hey, how can I get you to my shop? And he said, let's make it happen. He says,
I don't know if that's how it happened.
He is, because he talked to me about it. He said in the industry, Jose's like, look,
you talked to my boss about
your
it?
boss. He said when he talked about it, he said, Jose said, look, big companies come and go, but I really want to give back to the brick and mortars, the ones that are grassroots, that are in the communities, and I really want to showcase and highlight those opportunities. And so that's why he went to that shop, because I was telling Steven, and I actually told your boss, I said, look, here's the deal. I am so surprised that I said, don't take this the wrong way, but you're a small shop. In other words, you don't have a lot of square footage. And this is a big shop kind of event. You don't get an event like this
Large account is what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about, let's say, Corona, right? A smoke
Right.
in, something like that. That's
Right.
just ginormous.
Excuse me.
This is a neighborhood lounge, great lounge.
Yeah, it's a downtown lounge. I mean, in a small downtown.
And you just don't expect that to show up at your lounge, a small lounge like that. I mean, it was impressive, and he captured the room. He was so great. He really was.
No, it was a really fun time. We had 2 events last week, back-to-back events. We had a foundation event on Wednesday, which was awesome. Speaking of foundation, for those of you who might not have been looking at the screen, tonight I am smoking. I think we've been pronouncing this wrong the whole entire time, by the way. I do believe this is actually Senator.
Really?
So I'm smoking the Foundation cigar Senator.
I'm gonna call it Senator.
Or Senator, whichever one you prefer. This evening we had the Foundation event last week where we featured 3 of the prolific blends from Foundation Cigar Company: the Senator, the Night Commander, and the 10th anniversary cigar that was debuted this year at PCA. And I think it might be my top cigar of the year.
And so we didn't plan this per se, but you're doing the Wednesday show. I'm doing the Thursday show because I've got this huge 7.25 inch by 53 sophisticated Vitola of the Arturo Fuente Rare Pink Vintage 1960. Look at that thing.
It's a box press too. It's a box press Solomon.
It is a box press Solomon. I'm so looking forward to getting in this. I had my first Rare Pink that day, and it was the very small one, the itty bitty one.
The short story.
The short story. It was great. I loved it. The only thing I didn't like about it is it was too small. So I'm hoping that the same flavors transfer into this Vitola size as well.
Pays to have a son in the cigar.
It does. Finally.
Business.
Finally. I still have to pay retail. Almost.
Welcome in, Miss Diana Burns. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope you're having a good time. Hopefully you've had a good couple weeks. Michael Zakovic's got the Tatawahe Tuxla. Do let me know what you guys are smoking and drinking this evening. Obviously, I am pairing with the world's greatest pair, Dr. Pepper. Excuse me. Jim Dress actually's got 4 of the short stories. I picked up the pack that had the cigar that Bob the Cigar Guy's smoking, and I also picked up a 5-pack of the Queen of Hearts. It is the Flying Pig Vitola, like Drew Estate has. Really good smoke. I'm actually trying not to smoke through them within a week, or now 2 weeks. I've had them for over a week now, but I'm trying to slow myself down on smoking through them. There you go.
That's the Queen of Hearts right there.
Right.
Say it's a slow smoke, right?
Yeah, it smokes just like a pig. Bob Ellis has the Dia de los Muertos. J Bates says, I think they made a rare pink in the Pig Vitola. I could be wrong. That's what we're talking about. It's called Queen of Hearts. Cigar Pop says, trying to slow your roll. Trying to slow my roll on my rare pinks. Not slowing my roll in the cigar smoking world. I'm smoking more now than I've ever smoked ever. I'm knocking down 2 or 3 cigars a day this whole entire week.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I worked on Monday, and then Tuesday I went in to do some personal work. And I was telling you about it earlier. We brought CLE into the lounge, and we have their short cigars. And so I got all 4 blends. I mean, if you were to put them all together, it would be like 1 cigar. But I ended up smoking another cigar behind it. Yesterday, went up to the lounge to do some more computer work, smoked a cigar, and then hung out with Jamie last night at the lounge because it's been raining all this week. Today's like the first nice day of the week since Sunday.
And it's cold.
So smoked a T52 with him last night at the lounge. And then I had my men's meeting this morning at the lounge. We meet on Thursday mornings at the lounge. I had a cigar, and then I smoked a cigar on the way back from my barber, and then smoked a cigar at another lounge before I came here, and now I'm smoking. This is like number 5 for the day, so I'm well into the double digits this week.
Serious numbers.
And guess what? I have to work tomorrow, and I have to work Saturday, so I'm going to most likely smoke at least 2 cigars tomorrow, and then it's Halloween tomorrow, so I might walk around the neighborhood smoking a cigar, watching my kids run up to somebody's house. And then Saturday night, I've got to work.
You're not going to stay with me and hand out candy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I have not decided on what I'm going to do yet. But then I got to work Saturday night, and I usually smoke at least 2 cigars on Saturday night, unless it gets really busy. Then I usually just smoke one. I'll at least smoke one. But then Sunday I'm off, so I'll probably give myself a rest on Sunday. Bob Ellis says the rare pink I had was the vintage 1960.
Yeah, this is that.
Jay Bates says 47 degrees here tonight and feels like 44. It is a current 50 degrees in Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
Feels
right
like 12.
Now. It's not that bad. Today was a nice day. I mean, I'm still wearing shorts. You're wearing shorts.
Now, because I'm in the studio.
I've been wearing shorts all day.
But I've been wearing my Ariat warm clothing all week at work.
And you're still cold. Wow.
No, it was cold. I was not cold. I was comfortable.
Imagine if you're wearing like a Real Man's brand.
Anyway.
So that sissy brand you got over there.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, had the foundation event last Wednesday too. Really fun. We did 2 events at the same time. We did a rare pairing event. Why is your screen background yellow, by the way?
It does that sometimes.
You should change that.
It doesn't usually do that. It does that.
It's
sometimes.
turning your whole entire face yellow. You look
jaundiced.
jaundiced.
Sometimes it does it. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right click. Change background. Then just choose one of the stock photos it gives you. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. And
let's
well, I'm just hoping you would choose something fast so you don't look so jaundiced. So yeah, I had the foundation event, really fun. We did 2 events at the same time. We did a pairing event and then a regular box event, like most normal humidors do, or lounges do, should I say. We did a pairing where you could get one of the rare cigars, again, either the Senator, Night Commander, or the 10th anniversary from Foundation, and then you got 4 1-ounce pours from there were 2 Larceny, a regular Larceny, a barrel pick Larceny, 7-year Fitzgerald, and a 9-year-old Fitzgerald. I heard the 7-year is what most people liked. Not that it was knocking on the 9-year, but the 9-year is a little more rare, or I guess a lot more rare. So I say, oh, there you go. You look a lot less jaundiced now, there, Bob.
Well,
Jay Bates says you look healthy now.
I'm in the California kelp forest.
Matt Berger says 45 here now and going down to 33 tonight. Jim Jurasek says hard freeze last night feels like it's in the 30s. Jay Bates says wear that Carhartt. Sammy Flo says Bob, you gonna wear a costume while handing out candy?
No.
Aw.
No, I don't plan on it.
Keith Miser and Ron Maggio, thanks for hitting the like button over on Facebook. And for everybody who's done it over on YouTube, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, share this to your Facebook groups. Then we had the Fuente event, which was really cool. Jose Blanco, he definitely takes a lot of inspiration from Don Rickles.
Yes, he does.
He is a nice guy, but he's definitely he's got the jokes. He will smile at you and insult you in the same sentence.
And I found out that when he means to say I love you, he calls you an a-hole. Oh my gosh. He called me that 50 times. He called Matty Rock that, and Sanj Patel that, and Eric Gutmerson that. Anybody he liked, that's what he calls for some reason.
Jim Jurasek says he's going to dress up as Bob the Cigar Guy. Cigar Pop says, I also shared it to my group. Thanks, Cigar Pop. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, my brother. No, it was a lot of fun. We got to learn a lot. I learned for the first time, and I've always heard, and I know that the cigar wrapper makes up most of the flavor of a cigar. But it was kind of cool to hear him break it down a little bit. I thought it was gonna, like, the bottom number would have at least been 50. But he said, the bottom number could be as low as 25%, and the high number could be as close as like 65%. I think I had heard somewhere that cigar wrapper made up 85% of the flavor.
80 to 85 is what I always heard.
But I can see how maybe that's true in some cigars more than others. Obviously, that's like the problem that I run into with the Phineas Gauge. Right? I don't like the Phineas Gauge. I love H99, but I don't like the Phineas Gauge. But that's because proportionally there's more wrapper to filler binder than there is in a Super Ancho, right? There's more wrapper on the Super Ancho, but proportionally it's smaller. And I don't like the flavor profile of the Phineas Gauge. Now I love the flavor profile of the Papas Fritas H99, but I think because it's half the length, I think it balances out just right in that cigar.
It's also a little bit bigger in diameter.
A little bit.
Like a skinny.
Stogie Sister says, "Hey, all, I'm cooking, so not typing for a bit. What you cooking tonight?" Goodness. Oh, man. Keep hitting my microphone. Take a week off and I forget where everything's at. I thought it was finally over with this phlegm and cough, but it's rearing its ugly little head right now.
Are we shooting Chief Talk next week?
No Chief Talk next week. It's in the description. Unfortunately, it's just kind of worked out this way, where next Thursday is the night before Barn Smoker, or the night before we leave for Barn Smoker. And that's kind of weird right now because the whole airport thing going on with the government being shut down. For us, if the airport's shut down, we can drive to it. But I do feel for my boys up in Michigan.
How are you going to drive to it?
I'm a ride.
I don't know if I got seats.
You driving, buddy?
I don't know if I got seats.
You got enough seats. And if not, we booked a rental car. We'll just change the rental to Greenville, and I'll drive the rental down.
We'll drive both vehicles all the way.
Nah, we'll drive them down, but we're not riding tandem because you drive too slow. And you have to drive that vehicle.
Yeah,
Mom can't even drive that one.
That vehicle right there, working at the car mill, I get perks, and so I'm able to borrow a loaner car now that I've got my race car license. I can drive one of our race cars, which is an XM, 630 horsepower to the back wheels.
But it'll never see more than 212.
No.
You drive too slow, man.
Yeah, you ride with me on the way down and see what happens.
No,
the speedometer goes up to 200 miles an hour.
Listen, okay, just because it goes, speedometer in my truck goes to 160.
It goes 200 miles an hour. They say it's governed back to 168, 170 miles an hour.
Yeah, my truck speedometer goes to 160 and it shakes at 65. So just because it's saying it can do, don't mean it can do. No, that is something I probably should keep a really close eye on, because we might have to be like, hey, we need to change our rental pickup site.
There is some rumors that if this government shutdown keeps on, that the air traffic control is talking about everybody calling in sick,
striking.
Well, you can't strike. You're not allowed to. But you can
call a unified cough.
Yeah, everybody can call in sick, take vacation days or whatever.
Well,
PTO.
Hopefully that's not the case.
Hopefully.
Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are traveling to the Barn Smoker as patrons who are flying in instead of driving. So hopefully the case is, I don't know. I guess it could be as early as tomorrow. They could vote on it and open it up. I wonder though, with like the looming SNAP WIC benefits
dropping,
not being available come November 1st. I wonder if that's not going to put a little pressure on the other side of the aisle.
I would believe that.
That says, hey, you know, we, your constituents, would like for our fellow American citizens to be able to afford their meals for this month.
I think it's ridiculous altogether. I think both sides are ridiculous, to be honest.
Fireboard says, sounds like the BTCG airline will be flying down to Barn Smoker.
Oh, we gonna be going.
Listen, we've driven to the Florida Barn Smoker plenty of times. We've driven more. I think we've only flown to and from the Barn Smoker in Florida once, maybe twice, but at least once.
When you and your mom are flying down, the plan is, and then you're going to fly back.
I'm going to fly back, right? Yeah, she wants to ride in that car with you. Which just make sure that I remember. I thought about this when I was walking up tonight. Y'all better make sure I get a set of keys when I fly back.
I think she wants to go to the tea party or whatever it is, the Sunday party.
Mm-hmm.
So
the brunch.
I'd like to do that as well, but we haven't been invited. So
the brunch.
Yeah,
we go buy tickets.
Yeah.
They're available. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're not available now because it's kind of cool that they're doing the brunch because they can't break down the tents and stuff anyways until Monday at earliest. So why not go ahead and open up, a day where, you missed out on Barn Smoker tickets, but you can at least come for the brunch.
Right. And I'll be interested to see how it works, how they do it. Is it Barn Smoker style? Is it more of a Tortoliga style? Is it something totally different, like no other style? I mean, drill stage is always reinventing themselves. So it'll be interesting.
Sharing the stream to Facebook, making sure people know we're back this week since we took the week off last week. Sammy Flo says that is a cool idea. Jim Jurasek says with the active DHHS Department of Health, human suffering, would it really be a surprise if a rash of sickness occurs? I don't know. I mean, you got to think like a large portion of recipients of that are children, right? That's why you can get so much is because you have dependents that require, food. And we're not going to get into the whole political thing. I will mute. But if it starts to get crazy, I'll mute people. I'll kick them for the evening.
That's not what this is.
Regardless of what you feel about, there are millions of qualified people who need that stuff to survive who are going to, miss out. If a resolution does not happen, I assume by tomorrow. I don't know. I kind of feel like there should have been a reserve of money within the government.
There is. It's not really a slush fund, but there is, and some of the military and some of the others are still getting a paycheck, and they're kicking around the idea of putting money towards the SNAP
Ghost Buds
as well. But everybody's saying, well,
I tell you what, I'd rather take a nice lump of money to space exploration and take it away from them and put it into human welfare. That's just my own 2 cents. Again, not going to get too crazy with this. So yeah, learning about how much percentage you get of flavor out of the wrapper leaf was really cool. Also learned a bunch of other things from Jose Blanco, and ya boy got it all on footage. Now I was working, so it's all not my footage; it's my company's footage, or the cigar shop that I work for is footage. So if you want to see it, go follow Cameron Cigars on Instagram or on Facebook or both, because the first video drops tomorrow at 12:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for all you Californians, it's a little early in the morning for you. Towns in my county will be taking reserve money to help. Now we our church is going to do a thing where we're going to start collecting some stuff for families that they'll be able to come by and check up stuff. We're also working with the town that I work in, which is technically, it's not the town our church is in, but it's the nearest town, like actual living town for our church. And we have a relief program through the town. It's called Greer Relief. And we're going to look to partner with them it's like a soup kitchen, but they're also going to, they provide cans and dry goods and diapers and stuff like that. So this is an awesome opportunity for people to be the hands and feet.
Absolutely.
So times are tough, but sticking alongside your fellow man is really important. So it'll be interesting to see, how things kind of shake out in the next couple of days. Some of the memes have been funny though. With since the government's been shut down, there's been no chemtrails in the sky. That's been a good one. I've enjoyed that.
I haven't
one.
seen that one.
Let's see. Matt Brugger. So I was gonna bring this up. I actually had the email pulled up so I could read it. And then I got busy working or talking with Bob the Cigar Guy. I never got to fully read it, so I figured I could read it here on the stream. Make sure we pull that over. We can see full screen. So Matt Berger says, what are your thoughts on How About That Cigar shutting down? So for immediate release, I did not put this as a press release on ChevetteReport.com because I didn't want anybody to be like, oh, you're dancing on the dead body, right? Or, oh, look at you, you're gloating at another, competition, which I'm not in competition with anybody.
There's no competition.
But some people could misconstrue it as that. But I decided not to post this just because I didn't feel right about it. But anyways, how about that cigar press release? After 7 years and over 300 episodes, the cigar media group known as How About That Cigar will suspend operation at the close of the 2025 calendar year. All of our currently scheduled Monday shows will continue as planned. Our final show will take place on the 8th of December, 2025. The idea for How About That Cigar originally came to Matt Ty, founder of HBTC, in 2015. At that time, Matt knew he needed to gain more experience in the world of premium cigars, so he delayed the idea until he knew he was ready. In late 2018, Matt created and registered HBT Media LLC, and a parent company of HBTC. After working with another cigar media outlet since 2015, Blind Man's Puff, Matt made the decision to move forward with HBTC. The website launched on the 1st of February 2019, and the podcast started production soon after. Garrett Robinson joined HBTC at the beginning of the co-host of the HBTC Live. Garrett developed the idea for the show segment known as Numero de los Muertos, which is a really cool segment where they have a random, they give you a number that is attributed to deaths, and you have to figure out what those deaths are based off of that number. Which became a fan favorite. After 209 episodes, Garrett and HBTC parted ways. In September of 2021, Justin Lawler joined the team at HBTC. Justin took on the role of producing the live shows and all the trade show videography. Justin's eyes for timing and detail took the productions at HBTC to an incredible new level, and his dedication has been a cornerstone in the success of HBTC. Raul Ramos joined as the co-host of HBTC Live in August of 2023 on episode 210. He was already familiar with the HBTC audience after pinch hitting the coverage at Cigars and Baseball 2021. Raul quickly brought an incredible energy to HBTC Live and has built great relationships for HBTC throughout the industry. Now we have 3 quotes from Justin Lawler, Raul Ramos, and Matt Ty. So from Justin Lawler, the producer, says, it's been a wild ride all the way to the end, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. I am grateful for the friendships and community that have been built over the years being with How About That Cigar. As this chapter comes to a close, it will be exciting to see what happens next for each of us. Then Raul Ramos, who is a co-host of How About That Cigar, said, it's been an honor and a privilege to be on How About That Cigar. The friendships that have grown throughout my time on the show with Matt and Justin will be lifelong. Though I am saddened by the end of How About That Cigar, I am also excited for what the future holds for all of us. Thank you for your support and keep an eye out for The Leaf Gypsy. And then from Matt Ty, the founder and chief editor of How About That Cigar, says, I am beyond grateful for this incredible journey. I want to thank our sponsors, our guests, and every single person who has ever watched or listened to How About That Cigar. We hope the conversations we shared over the years on How About That Cigar were just as entertaining, educational, and meaningful to you as they were to us. Thank you all. And then it closes out with the entire team at HBTC would like to express our gratitude to the premium cigar industry for the opportunity to cover the culture and the people that make it so great. It has been an honor to be stewards of this incredible hobby and to gain lifelong friendships along the way. Please remember, as always, burn cigars, not bridges. So the first time that I saw anything about that was Coop, late last week or early this week. I guess it was early this week, where he posted an article that was titled something in the realm of cigar media dying or something like that. Let me go find. Hold on, because I don't want to accidentally say something Coop didn't say. Let's see. He puts out a lot of press releases. Look there. Well, he's Coop, so Coop's been in this a long time, Bobby.
A long time.
Online cigar media in crisis, the blog, which I did read a little bit of it, and I think he's very insightful. Obviously, Coop's been in the business for a long time, and he's got 15 years of coverage. And he says, for my first time in 15 years of covering the cigar industry, cigar media is in a crisis. In fact, it is as big a crisis I've ever seen. Cigar media is being squeezed by what I call Choice 5 syndrome. Historically, cigar companies would announce new products by faxing print publications, hoping for coverage. In contemporary times, these companies have access to a multitude of channels for disseminating information. In fact, many online cigar media platforms have become the fifth choice for soliciting coverage, with some media achieving slightly higher placement. This trend encompasses not only news coverage, but also extends to all form of media exposure. So podcasts, vodcasts, live shows, things like that. So choice 5 is the fifth choice out of what the 4 choices are for cigar companies. So what he's basically saying, to my knowledge, is, well, cigar companies have access to their own social media accounts now. They have access to their own Instagrams, their own Facebooks, their own YouTubes, and a lot of companies are going the route of just posting their own content. Jeez, I hate this stupid microphone cord. I'm gonna quit live streaming just because of this stupid cord, Bob Cigar Guy. Sorry, I'm triggered there. Oh, now it's the stupid cover. Sorry. Back to your regularly scheduled program. So that's one thing that I've noticed as somebody who is in the cigar media game when it comes to Chevette Report, right? And also the cigar social media game with Chief and Leaves, and also working as a social media content creator for the lounge that I work at. I've noticed that, and it's not just been recently, it's been for the past couple of years. A lot more companies are starting to outsource their digital media creation. It started out with outsourcing digital media creation to conglomerate companies who just do production media, right? A cigar company hiring a company who makes commercials for Burger King or IHOP or Dove soap or whatever. And that kind of presented some problems in the sense of, well, these guys make really cool stuff, really visually appealing stuff, but they're lighting cigars backwards. They're cutting the wrong end of a stogie. You're having all sorts of weird, issues. Like, this doesn't match the cigar industry at all. So they went and started, hiring, small time photographers who are willing to, do exchange for product. Some companies went in-house and hired some people who had digital media experience and said, hey, we'll pay you a lot of money to do all this stuff. Hey, there's 23 people. We've hit the 20 mark. Again, 39 out of 39 shows this year. Woohoo! Sorry, I've just been waiting to see that number go over 20. So, and then companies started hiring people down in their factories just to start creating media. Mainly in the form of like digital imagery, not so much press releases, but the digital imagery for their social medias, websites, press releases, things like that, because they could buy an expensive camera, give somebody, 20 hours of YouTube University, which is great, and then pay somebody at the factory the wages that they pay people in those countries to create content, and they were happy with whatever content was coming out. Then you started having companies who were ripping off content from creators who were just making dope content because they were trying to get their Instagram follow count up. And now companies are just kind of doing their own thing. Now, there are a lot of companies who do still send out press releases. We're very fortunate to get press releases from a handful of companies. Obviously, ChevetteReport.com put out like 5 press releases today. There's another 3 that are going to come out tomorrow because I've been busy ever since I got those other 2. So press releases are still going out, but companies are kind of sort of backing off of sponsorships. Now, I do not know, and I will not claim to speak for How About That Cigar or Coop or Dojo or anybody else out there. I only know what we deal with and how our business model works. We are very fortunate to have, especially here on Chief Talk, we have 2 sponsors who willingly sponsored Chief Talk to be a part of the cigar media game. And obviously Drew Estate does a lot of sponsoring across the channel. So obviously we do benefit. There are companies out there that are still doing a really great job. Obviously, Coop has ads that run on his website. Half Wheel has ads that run on their website. Aficionado, Snob, other podcasters and live streamers, they all run ads and things like that. Excuse me. So there are companies that are still out there doing it, but there are a lot of companies who have pulled back as well. And I don't know what really goes into that. I don't know if it's we're just kind of sort of doing this on our own self, and we have, 20,000 subscribers or 20,000 followers on Instagram. So why should we send all this information to a website that only has 500 email recipients, right? Now it's a different metric. Follower count on Instagram is way different than subscriber count on YouTube versus following count on Facebook versus followers on Instagram versus TikTok followers and things like that. But companies really get caught up in that number, right? And they don't get so caught up in the interaction of the number. So I don't know. I don't know what, is going on. Maybe How About That Cigar just decided, we've been doing this long enough and we've gotten what we need out of this. And, our lives are busy and we just don't have the time to dedicate to this that we wanted to. I will be completely honest. Bob the Cigar and I have that conversation multiple times a year of, hey, are we still in a spot where we're enjoying doing this? Because we don't want to ever get to a point where our mental health or relationship is damaged by trying to get something out of something that we might not ever get. Bob the Cigar Guy and I, and Bob, you can jump in at any time here, obviously. Bob the Cigar Guy and I would love for Bob the Cigar Guy YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram and ChevetteReport.com and Chief Talk to make $200,000 a year so that we could both take home a $75,000 paycheck and the channel make $50,000 and do this full time. That would be insane not to feel that way because we love the cigar industry. We love smoking cigars. We love doing videos. We love hanging out with you guys on live. We love traveling and getting to do all sorts of fun stuff with Barn Smokers and PCA and Nicaragua. And, no telling what the future holds, in the realm of travel trips or whatnot. or whatnot. Sorry, I had a hiccup in the middle of that. But you know, there's always that little thing that creeps in the back of your head. It's like, man, this video's only gotten, 20 views in the last 6 days, And that's another thing is I have noticed, and there's a bunch of different factors for this. One big factor is the fact that big media demonizes tobacco, right? So it's kind of hard to get your voice out there as far as it could if, the ability to get Bob the Cigar Guy out there to people who aren't subscribed to Bob the Cigar Guy is 10 times harder than it is to start a video game channel and get your video game channel out there to people who don't follow you or aren't subscribed to you. And that comes with the territory of being an adult, 21 plus year old commodity, not commodity, but you know what I'm saying. And it sucks because I feel like we offer a really cool spot of respite for a lot of people that probably could enjoy this, but don't see it because, of a whitelisting or a shadow ban or whatever you like to call it. Using those cool buzzwords.
You're doing a great job.
And so, one of the things they try to tell you when you do social media, especially if you become like a big time influencer, which neither of us are, when you're big and you've got millions of followers, it's like, don't ever read your comments, right? Because you got a bunch of people who are down there just to tear you down because their life is miserable or they just want to make your life miserable, whatnot. We're not at that size where we have to really worry about that. And obviously we're in a lifestyle where reading the comments is paramount to what we do, what we upload. Because we want to treat this like a cigar lounge. We would never encourage anybody just to go to a cigar lounge, sit in a corner, and not talk to anybody. So unfortunately, interaction is down. Viewership is down. I can't say it's down for everybody. I know after looking at other people's media content, there are people out there in our industry who are absolutely killing it because they are riding some form of the algorithm. And every once in a while, we'll get a nice little pop, a little bump, and we'll try to ride it as long as we can. And it usually doesn't last very long because I think the algorithm catches back up to us and says, no, not you guys. Sorry, I got to stop doing that in the microphone. But then there are companies out there that they're struggling too. Now, Chief Talk can proudly say that this year, every single episode, all 39 episodes this year, have garnished over 20 viewers an episode concurrently, right? Not 20 views on a show, but concurrently at least 20 people. And I will brag and say that it is because of you guys. It is the community, because you guys and gals, because there's 2 gals in here at least, are testament to that, because you guys come to hang out and smoke, right? I got 7 DMs last week, Thursday, even though I had mentioned it for 2 weeks straight. Hey, is there a show tonight? What's going on? Now I'm working tonight. Sorry. And obviously they're just wanting to come and hang out and smoke. People have made, at least 20 people have made this a weekly thing for them to do. They know when it's Thursday at 8:15 or 7:15 or 6:15 or 5:15 that Chief Talk is on. Bob and Chief are going to be on the TV or on the phone, and they're going to be having a fun time for an hour or 2 hours, making fun of each other, doing stupid things, smoking cigars, talking about the culture, but just being there. And we haven't had to rely on, this week on Chief Talk, we have Steve Saka or Freddie No or Michael Hercloth. We're not having to rely on that. Now, no shade at all to anybody who does a guest every week. I think that is awesome. I think that is a really cool way to get the industry involved with the people who support them, right? And we love having guests on. If I liked that model more, I would try to have a guest on every week. But I love the model of sitting here, hanging out with you guys and gals, smoking cigars, making jokes, getting silly with each other, doing silly, stupid games and gags and whatnot, smoking cigars, talking about each other's life, letting each other know that we've had a loss in the family, or we've had a birth in the family, or we're celebrating retirement, or somebody really close to you died. And I love that about this. And it from a media business standpoint, I'm sure companies hate that. I'm sure there's a part of Drew Estate that's like, ooh, I wish that they were getting 100 people to watch, and so that Drew Estate's being mentioned to 100 people every single week. Well, I kind of wish that too, but I also still love the organic. Now, if we were still doing this organically, right? Like we are, and we had 100 people in here, hey, testament to that. That just means we have to get Chief Talk out to more people. And hey, every single show this year has had at least 20 people in it. We've had shows this year. We've had multiple shows over 30, and we've had a few shows over 40. We haven't got to the 50 mark this year. But we've had 2 shows over 40, multiple shows over 30, and every show over 20. And last year, that did not happen. The year before, that would have been insane to get 2 shows in a row over 20, right? So Bob Cigar, I'm talking a lot. What do you want to add?
Well, you're doing a great job.
I know I am. Thank you, though.
I have a slight different perspective, I guess. I saw Coop's post. I saw How About That Cigars post. I was sad, but understand with How About That Cigar. The grind is a grind. I saw a couple comments where, podcasts are a lot of work, and they are. And doing all that stuff takes a whole lot of time. And so you do need to have balance. Is it harder now than it was 10 years ago to do cigar internet media? Absolutely.
In the sense of reach, in creation, it's gotten easier because of all the tools that are available. Reach has gotten more difficult.
Expectations a lot higher too. But yes, in the reach, and then COVID happened, and then everybody became a cigar reviewer, and it just filled the airwaves, and then those people dropped off, and then the guys who stayed around, the guys and girls who stayed around, and now we're at a point to where it's either put up or shut up. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. The winds are blowing against us. We got headwinds. Everybody does. And so some people are going to say, you know what? I don't think the squeeze is worth the juice. And then there are going to be some people that are going to say, well, we're going to double down and we're going to push through this. And I know as far as we are concerned, we're doubling down. We are actively working on engaging the people that watch us and try to give you content that you really love and enjoy. There's lots and lots of changes about to go on in the channel. A lot of it coming from my content and the way I do things, and even in the podcast. The podcast is now, instead of every week, it's every other week, and it's going to be completely different. I highly, highly recommend it. This is not a beg for views. Right. You need to watch tomorrow's podcast. It is going to be nothing like anything we've ever done. And I know there is nobody in the industry that is doing what this is going to be. Whether it's good or whether the reason nobody does is because it sucks, I'm not sure yet. But it's going to be something to watch at least once, and I'd love feedback on that. But as far as some of the comments and some of the articles that have been come out about this subject, there's a lot of doom and gloom. There's a lot of poor us, nobody loves us, all this other stuff. I don't know if that's true either. There's a lot of people doing the internet sphere that aren't really putting the work in. Right. They're thinking it's just going to be easy. Right. And so I think I agree with you. Sorry, go ahead. You gotta hone your craft. You gotta step up. You gotta work now. Right. This is not easy. It's not going to come to you.
Here's one of the things that I think there are not a lot of young guys in the cigar review game. And what's happening is,
I don't know if I'd say that.
There's not. I mean, the cigar review game or in the podcast lane. I mean, name
what's young. What's young?
Me.
Okay,
5 years north and 5 years south of me.
No, there's a
so 29 to 39.
There's a healthy group
of content creators, not of people consuming content.
No, there's, let's say, what is it? Cigar Hound. Just for the ones off my head, Cigar Hound, not TNT Cigars. What is it now?
Zeal Cigars.
Zeal Cigars. That guy's a young kid, and he's got young people on as co-hosts with him. He's kind of taken over. He's a young guy. There's I can't think of the names, but I can see in my head about a half a dozen at least. But I don't watch.
But that's still not a lot.
Yeah, but I don't watch a lot of
half a dozen isn't a lot.
I don't watch a.
Okay, so I'm thinking of podcasters, live show, and reviewers within 5 plus or minus of me, which I would say I'm in the young bracket of people in this industry on this part.
I would agree.
Jordan Gutmerson, who basically runs Dojo. Myself. I believe Pick Jimmy is close to my age. He doesn't seem too much farther away from me. Cigar Show Tim, I don't think is too far away from me either.
No, he's closer to me than he is to you.
Now I don't know the one that you see. Who did you say?
Hound Dog Cigars or
I don't
or
Cigar Hound.
like that. He does real short.
I'm not sure who that is.
Lots of short content.
And I've not watched Zeal Cigars in a long time. But I know if it's the same guy who was co-hosting with Brad, then I know who you're talking about.
The young country kid.
But the internet game is changing a lot. The videos are getting edited differently. Transitions are way different. The AI stuff that goes into it, it's getting, and that was another thing I wanted to say is cigar companies are starting to use a lot of AI now too. It's actually starting to piss me off a little bit. Black Star Line Cigars, Eric, is like every single post he's posting now is just an AI video of his company stuff. And I know it's kind of funny, some of the stuff he's doing, but I think it cheapens. I think there's a use for it as a tool, but I don't think you don't always need a soft blow hammer, right? Sometimes you need a sledgehammer, sometimes you need a wooden mallet, sometimes you need your hand. And
the craftsmanship is gone.
I think. Well, no.
As far as AI, AI takes place.
No. You can use AI to be very creative. Dojo uses AI all the time.
I'm talking about AI as the main driving.
Now that's lazy.
It does all the work for you.
Yeah, that's lazy. I mean, you've got to create your prompts, sure, but it's creating your content for you. And if you're using free software, now you're not having to pay. Okay, I think the thought process that goes through people's head is, well, yeah, it doesn't look perfect, but I'm not having to pay a company $5,000 a month to make this for me.
And it's quick.
It is quick. And
it doesn't cost. It does. You don't have to have a setup. You don't have to have cameras. You don't have to have editing software.
All right. So let's get into these comments. So really go back to my comment. The internet viewing ship is younger than it was 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
People who were 15 or 16 5 years ago, now 21, and can watch freely and smoke freely,
right?
And so they want to come over and they want to watch something that is expectant of kind of sort of what they watch for the past 5 years of video gamers or podcasters or whatever.
True.
And it does take a lot of work to get into that. It takes a lot of work to change your edit style, especially if you've been doing something for so long. Obviously you understand that you're changing things up,
and it's a lot of work. And let me jump in real quick. I pulled up our analytics because I don't only speak about us. I can't speak about anybody else. So they break down the age group on YouTube. 13 to 17, we have 0% views. Thank God. 18 to 24, hopefully it's 21 to 24. We have 3.5%. 25 to 34, 26.9%. 35 to 44, 35.5%. 45 to 54, 22%, 55 to 64, 10%, and 65 at 1.9. And I will tell you, before we really started doubling down on Chief Talk, before you really started jumping in and really just growing this thing as hard as you could, we had less than 5% under the 35 to 44%. Right. I mean, there was nobody. Everybody was over 50, 45 and above. And so it has changed, and we do that intentionally because we have the First Lady's content is to reach a different demographic.
Right.
Your content is to reach a different demographic. My content is to reach a different demographic. And the videos you put out, the shorts and the stuff at PCA and all that leans much more towards younger content, polished, savvy.
Yeah, it's more polished
groups.
content.
And so we do that intentionally. Now we also do that because that hits your skill set. What you do hits your skill set.
Right.
What I do hits my skill set.
Right.
If I try to do what you do, it's not going to be organic. And if you try to
It'd be organic, it would be further and farther between.
Right. And yours
further and fewer between.
And if you try to do what I do, I don't think you'd be as successful because we're different in the way we attack things.
Well, I think again, it kind of comes down to the time and effort it's taking. So I want to get into these comments. We've had a lot of comments going in the past, 15, 20 minutes we've been talking. Michael Zakovic, it's actually been way longer because this was 30 minutes ago. It's a lot of work to have a podcast and need family time. Yeah,
it's true.
Matt Berger says those are my boys. Super bummed to see it all come to a close. Dan Burns says, like all businesses, it's getting harder to stay active with all the anti-anything out there. But I see no end to cigars.
Agreed.
I don't know. I saw that not New Hampshire, but Vermont or one of the New England states. There's a town or a county that is trying to pass the thing where anybody born after a certain year cannot purchase tobacco. And then it just continues to go up, and then eventually you just age people out.
Age everybody out.
Matt Berger says, from what I've heard from them, more family time. Michael Zakovic says, I think a lot of cigar brands have taken for granted the cigar media. There are some brands who understand the reach of cigar media and podcasts that keeps their cigars relevant and talked about. 100% agree. Jim Jurasek says the viewer also benefits. Cigar Pop says YouTube is against the cigar industry. Michael Zakovic says podcasts are not easy. It's a lot of work and dedication. Well, here's the thing. Podcasts are easy. Good podcasts are not. If all I ever wanted to do was just get on here and have my face on a camera or on a screen broadcast to you, it's 2 buttons, right? But there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of effort that goes into this. So podcasting is easy. Good podcasting is not. But I think that's probably what you mean. Cigar Pop says, change your titles to cat videos and maybe you'll get promoted instead of shadow banned.
Funny.
Fireborn says, you guys are pulling the in dojo size viewership. I wish. I think they're averaging 30 to 50 a show.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I mean, we're definitely pulling good numbers. Especially for 2 idiots on a screen every week.
You wouldn't think that those, I mean, if you're on the outside looking in, 20 people watch at the same time, that doesn't sound very impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you start looking at everybody else.
But then take it, like we've got 24 people watching right now, right? Imagine yourself sitting in a room with 24 other people.
You're right.
Right? And then it's like, wait a minute. That's 24. That's
you're right.
2 rows of 12.
You're right.
4 rows of 6, right? 3 rows of 8. Quick baths. Michael Zakovic says viewers are the driving force. Absolutely. Interaction is absolutely driving. That's why we beg for likes and shares and all that kind of stuff, is because when a company says, hey, what are your numbers? It's not so much a subscriber. Now they care about the subscriber number, but we also try to say, look, yeah, we only have 10,000, which we're just under 10,000 subscribers right now, but we've got 10% interaction. We don't, but when you have somebody who's got 50 million subscribers, they're getting 100,000 comments, but it's like, ooh, what is that? That's like 0.0005%, right?
Right. I'm looking at your lives right now, and
they're all over 100.
Yeah, in excess.
Yeah.
Except when it's major football season, it slows down a little bit. But you're running probably 150 on average And so, people are watching this even after the live is over.
Yeah, and that's fun too, because we do have people who live like Ron Maggio. He lives in China, right? We've got Charles Adamson, Photos de Puros, Suprema Tobacco, who live in California, right? When Chief Talk starts, they're getting off of work.
And we have people watching from Germany and from other countries all over the world.
So people go back to watch these, and they treat them just like a podcast, right? This is just, you can literally just set this on and you're watching a rebroadcast. It's just like listening to a podcast. A little less interesting, a little less podcast formatted. I mean, it's podcast formatted in the sense of talking heads and microphones and whatnot. Matt Berger says, always look forward to Thursday night with Bob and Chief. Chi-Town says, hello, late to the party. Glad to have you in here. Smoking the Creature tonight. Is that a Tatuaje as well? I don't know if I said it earlier, but I got
from the Black Lagoon.
I got the Drac for tomorrow. It's one of the skinny monsters. Fireborn's got a Trinidad Espiritu #1 tonight. Chi-Town says to do it well takes a lot of work. Absolutely cannot agree with that anymore. Bob Ellis says, I'm sure glad you guys are still going. We are too. We get a lot out of this in the sense of dopamine hits, with the numbers. We're chasing the numbers and we're trying to see, we're competing with our last video and trying to make sure it gets put out there and whatnot. But it's also nice just to come back and hang out with you guys.
Absolutely.
If I could have my way, and if it worked in a way where we could just bring all 22 of you right now who are watching the stream onto the screen and we could have a sit-down conversation the whole entire time, I'd love that. And I'm glad that you guys get to talk back and forth in the comments like you're sitting next to each other. And obviously that's the driving force behind the Discord, being able to have a conversation over there when Chief Talk's not on. We're talking back and forth. I mean, we're showing each other cigars and we're talking about blends and we're talking about all sorts of stuff in the industry. James Tucker says, love your show. Keep them lit. We're going to try. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Michael Zakvik says, what does age of reviewers have to do with this? I don't look at the age gap of someone and decide if their review is of value. I'm confused your point. Okay. So that was at 9:12, which was 11 minutes ago. So what I'm talking about with the age of the reviewer is younger, and this is not ageism.
Hey, pull me off for just a second, please.
Okay. There. And that. Okay. So let me address this because I don't want this to be confusing. Or people hearing something I'm not saying. Younger audience or younger content creators have grown up in the content age, right? Bob the Cigar Guy did not grow up in the content age. I really didn't grow up in the content age. Michael Zagovec, you did not grow up in the content age either. And that's not me being funny and saying you're old or anything. But people who are in their 20s grew up in the content age. They have seen the beginnings of the content age. They have seen the growth. They've seen the changes. They've seen the algorithms. They've seen all the other stuff change. And so they have grown accustomed to liking a certain type of content production style, right? So as those people get old enough to smoke, as they realize that there is a whole breed of cigar YouTubers out there, they are more than likely looking for something that is going to be pleasing to the eye. For the younger guys, they've grown up doing that kind of stuff because everybody who's in their 20s has probably at some point tried to create a gaming YouTube or a lifestyle channel or a makeup review or food reviews or whatever. And they tried to make content that was really relative or relational to the content sphere. And so their way of doing things is a lot different than it is for Bob the Cigar Guy or Brad Reith or, Dojo, myself. Now, I would say I'm not really going to put Dojo in there because Jordan does a really good job of keeping on top of the trends and whatnot. And Jordan within my age range. So he still kind of fits that narrative. So it's not about, ageism in the sense of wanting to watch a younger reviewer or something like that. It's more of the style and the aesthetic and the ease of creating things, right? If I had the time and it was worth it on a monetary scale for Bob the Cigar Guy YouTube channel and ChevetteReport.com, I could sit at home and I could work with AI and I could work with editing softwares and Photoshop and Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve and all these other things. And I could make really, 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 really cool transitions and fades and wipes and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Make something that's really engaging, that's going to make sure that it's like the coolest, dopest production content out there. And that's a lot easier for me than it is for Bob the Cigar Guy, because I grew up kind of sort of as a lot of that stuff was, I'm a little but you've got kids who, you always see people trash talking parents like, I can't believe they let their kids, play on an iPad at that age. I'd never let my kids play on an iPad at that age. Yeah, you would have, because you didn't have the iPads to put on your, for your kids to have. If you'd have had them, you'd probably used them. And sometimes it's a good tool to use. But I can remember a few years ago, my niece was like 6 years old and she was making dance compilation videos that she was just keeping on her iPad. And it was like, oh, this is really cool. How'd you learn to do that? I just watched a YouTube video how to do this. Whoa, that's really cool. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to that. It's not just the younger guys, but the younger guys are a little more seasoned to it, a little more accustomed to it, because they might not have gotten started out in the cigar review game, but they started out with a video game channel or a lifestyle channel or food review channel or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully that clears that up for you. Fireborn says, unfortunately, I think a lot of young people these days don't have the disposable income for a hobby like cigars. That is also very true. Now, spoiler alert, if you do cigar reviews well enough and right enough and long enough, there's not always a you got to pay for cigars thing. Companies will send product to be reviewed, sponsorships. Product comes with sponsorships, but it does come down to time, and again, right? It makes it hard for a cigar reviewer or a cigar live streamer to sit here and do content, make content, and 20 people watch it. Let's say that doesn't affect you. You're fresh into this. You're getting 20 people to watch. 7 of them are your mom on 7 different devices, but you're getting 20 people to watch for the first year, 2 years, 20, 40 views. Cool. But year 3 comes, year 4 comes, year 5 comes, and you're still at 60 views, or you've dropped down to 40 views, or you're 50 views one day, 10 views the next, 25 views the third time, and then 100 views the fourth. It makes it difficult to want to keep going, because you're putting a lot of time and effort that you could be doing just smoking cigars without putting a camera and an editing software together. And you say, you know what, is this even worth it? And it does get difficult. That's a constant fight that Bob and I have to talk each other out of, is this even worth it anymore? And again, like I said earlier, an hour ago or however long ago it was, this is a conversation Bob the Cigar Guy and I have multiple times a year. Is it still worth it? Are we still good? Is our relationship okay? Is our mental okay? And fortunately, one of us has been good enough at that time in the conversation to say, yeah, this is definitely worth it. And most of the time, it's 100% for both of us. But we'd be lying to say if there's not a time where he and I look at each other and say, this just isn't worth it anymore. And then the other person says, nah, I think it's worth it. What are we doing? Okay. I don't know, my mom and dad are on the phone. I was getting confused. Sorry. So yeah, there's a lot of time where it's like, should we continue to do this anymore because the numbers just aren't pushing like we want them to push anymore. And again, that for the first 2 years of that, it's like, oh, it's just the first 2 years. And then you get to year 3 and it's like, what do we do now? Now, Bob Cigar Guy and I were very fortunate in our first few years of this. He's giving me the thumbs up so he can come back on stream. Bob the Cigar Guy and I were very fortunate. For our first couple years, we had pretty good growth. I think in year 3, we were averaging over 1,000 subscribers a year. We were about 100 subscribers a month, and we were getting hundreds of views on every video, and traction was going great, and sponsorships were rolling in, and the juice was worth the squeeze. But then 2020 rolls around, and YouTube slams the door shut on every cigar content creator out there. Now, it wasn't just cigars. It was alcohol. It was firearms. It was a couple other things. And a lot of that actually came about because of a video gamer. Long story short, at the time, the most subscribed YouTuber on the platform or on the planet for YouTube, I was playing a video game, live streaming a video game, and he was playing a game called Daisy. Not Daisy. Was it Daisy? I think it was Daisy. Yeah, it was Daisy. And he got shot on the video game, and he was trying to get away, and he died, and he lost all of his stuff, and he dropped the N-bomb. And before he knew it, he freaked out, shut the stream down. And what happened is Coca-Cola threatened to pull 100% of their advertising, because guess what? When that happened, there was a big Coca-Cola ad right on the side of the screen.
Wow.
And so Coca-Cola said, well, if you can't keep this guy in check, who can you keep in check? This is the biggest streamer on the service, and you can't keep him in check. We're going to pull our advertising. So YouTube said, whoa, hold on. We're going to fix this. Don't pull your billions of dollars. So they started going through and they started age restricting stuff, and video gamers, you had to, you had to go through, all sorts of verifications to get all your monetization and do all this other stuff. And you had checks and balances, and then came regulated content. Tobacco, firearms, alcohol, drugs, stuff like that. All are regulated items. What does regulated mean? Something that you cannot purchase unless you are over a certain age, right? They regulate who can purchase this stuff. And so because it's something that can be regulated purchased, they said that, well, if it's regulated purchase, it should be regulated consumed in content. And so because you couldn't exactly verify who was, because you can get on YouTube and create an account, and you can say that you're a 65-year-old man as a 12-year-old girl, and there's no real checks and balances as to that. And so they said, you know what? You do regulated stuff, no more branding, no more money, no more super chats, no more partnerships. If you want money, go get a sponsor, and then don't say these things on your streams.
And they did that to kind of also, because a lot of people are in it for the money. And so
of course
you're taking out all your advertisements.
Of course,
and
YouTube is in it for the money.
Stream, right?
YouTube's in for, if we're a cigar YouTuber and 100,000 people are watching us and ads are playing, we're only getting 15% of those ads. YouTube's getting the rest of the money. No, right? So they're happy to have people come on and watch the platform.
Right. But what I'm saying is they wanted to get rid of that aspect, and so they took away the incentive of making the money through advertisement, and so a lot of people left because that's how they were making their money, instead of going through sponsorships and everything else. I mean, it is much harder to if you were doing this as a business to make money, because now you're having to go to individual manufacturers or individual whoever, instead of just putting advertising up there. So I never knew that. I didn't know that was where that came from.
Well, the thing that frustrated me was I wish, okay, it's YouTube's platform, it's Facebook's platform, it's Instagram's platform, whatever. You have enough money to where you have regulated content. Why not check your advertisers and say, hey, are you okay with your ads going up during a cigar podcast? Are you okay with your ads going up during a drinking podcast? Some of the most famous cocktails out there are mixed with soda, right? Rum and Coke, rum and Diet Coke.
7 and 7.
Right. So I'm sure they could have said, okay, well, not every company is going to want to advertise, right? The Health and Wellness Center of Better Lungs of Tomorrow is not going to want to advertise on a cigar podcast. Mothers Against Drunk Driving are not going to want to advertise on a drinking podcast or a drinking channel. Dads Against Gun Violence are not going to want to advertise on a gun show. But what if Ruger wants to put ads out there? Okay, we want our ads to go on those videos. We want our ads to show up on a cigar podcast. We want our ads to show up because soft drinks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever, go hand in hand with cigars. Guns go hand in hand with a lot of cigar smokers. Barbecue, whatever.
Right.
I wish they would have done something like that. I feel like they had the money and the resources to be able to do something like that. But I think it was just easier to just say, let's get as much of this stuff off our platform as possible, because more people are coming to YouTube to watch video games and dancing and sports and replays and all that kind of stuff anyway. So let's just report those guys. So anyways, that kind of envelops the, like, it is difficult out there. And if you want to try to make money off of it. And I think anybody who's trying to put a lot of effort into their videos is trying to make money off of it.
Well, it's not cheap. I mean, if you think about it,
it's not cheap if you do it well.
Even
it's cheap if you do it crappy.
Even our channel. I mean, we have these microphones, we have the mixing boards, you have tons of cameras.
You have $4,000 right now that is on a monopod in front of me that's putting my image on the camera, on a $2,000 computer, on a $2,500 computer, on a $1,000 deck, on a $500 worth of microphones and booms and headphones. Right? There's $10,000 that's making this show happen right now. Right now, we've worked our butts off for years to be able to get to this point to afford all these things, and it's not a braggadocious thing. But it is expensive to create a good podcast. It is expensive to create good content. And if you don't have the support, it's really hard unless you just come out of pocket. And if you continue to come out of pocket and you just don't see a lot of growth, why do it?
You're not a business
well, you're not a sustaining business.
You're not successful.
Now, if you happen to have a really good job that pays a lot of money and this is a hobby for you and you just love doing, you don't, like, if I didn't have kids, right? If I didn't have a family or wife, I was just by myself. This would be probably all I ever did. I'd probably live stream every night. So I don't know. I understand. If that's why, How About That Cigar is getting off is because they want to spend more time with their family, and maybe there's underlying things that they don't want to talk about. I can understand it. I'm not going to sit there and say that they are doing it that way. Maybe it is just because of family. Maybe podcasting is super easy for them, but they just want to spend time with family. All for it. And you guys know that.
Agreed.
We don't broadcast on Thanksgiving. We don't broadcast on 4th of July. We don't broadcast on Christmas. We don't broadcast on New Year's Day. Because what? We want you to be with your family. Because your family is more important than us. Now, we have created a family. The Chief Talk family. Bob Cigar Guy family. The Discord family. But that's our family here. We want you to be a part of your family first. So Matt and the guys at How About a Cigar, maybe one day they come back, and if they come back, I hope they come roaring back with even more success than they've had. But I will say this, your support and watching and commenting and viewership and sharing and all that stuff is duly appreciated. It is it never goes without thanks.
Absolutely.
That's why when we sign off every show, we say thank you for hanging out with us, because if I had 2 people watching, it would not be as fun of a show. I mean, like right now, we don't have a lot of comments rolling in, but that's because we're talking about a pretty serious subject. Sometimes we have a lot of comments that roll in. When we do our brackets and stuff like that, we got 100 comments every 5 minutes. Now, tonight's not a show where I'm really relying on the comments to come in because of how passionate about this topic I am. And we are, should I say. It's not just me who is passionate about this. You guys are passionate about it. And I'm sure you guys understand, like, you've probably sat there and thought, could I sit here and review this cigar and put this on YouTube? I bet a lot of you have said, it seems like a lot of work.
But do it, for gosh sakes. I get a lot of people regularly, weekly, I'd say almost. Somebody come up and say, I always thought about doing something like that. And I said, well, do it. Stephen was working very hard at Cameroon, and one of the fellas in there, a regular, was there talking to Mr. Fuente, right?
Jose Blanco is his name.
I know, but I called him Mr. Fuente. And then he asked about podcasting. And so I kind of turned to him after he was done talking to Mr. Blanco. And I said, look, Bubba, get in and do it. Just try it. This is what I would suggest. This is what I would recommend. And I just laid out the truth. I told him how hard of a struggle it was, how a grind, how he should shoot 5 videos and not worry about his analytics. And if he likes it, keep doing it, because there may be one person, you may only have one viewer, and that one viewer might needed that more than you would ever expect. You might impact somebody's life in a way that you wouldn't have if you didn't have your voice. And you might find that reviewing cigars is something that you just love doing. It's an outlet for you for creativity. And numbers are numbers. I mean, if you're doing it for business, if you're going into it for business, you wouldn't do it this way. All right. Isn't that cute? If you're doing it for business, you wouldn't do it the way we do it. You would have guests on every week. You wouldn't be focused on comments as we do. You would be trying to find ways to get more clicks, more hits, more this, more that. And that's not what we do it for. We do it for a purpose. And we like views. We like clicks. And Chief is right. We'd love to do this for a living.
It's a dopamine hit. I mean, we're not going to sit here and pretend like it's not something that we crave. When you upload a video, Bob Ascari, and I'll say this because I do it. When you upload a video, you will check that video 20 times in the first hour to see if you've got a comment or a like or what the view numbers are, because you want to see success.
Absolutely.
You want to see it.
If you do anything, do it to the best of its ability.
You're not sitting there saying, oh man, I'm not going to do this anymore because I didn't get a comment, today. You just want to see if it's got some action, because you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into that. You smoked that cigar. You had a good time. You hope that somebody else smokes a cigar. They have a good time. So all I'd say for now, Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief are planned to go for 2026. All of our contracts are out for next year. So,
and I'm gonna pull this up and throw this out. I had to get on the phone because the first lady called and she goes, I need you to watch the short I just made. And I'm like, I'm on the show. And she goes, I know you're on the show. And I'm like, but I'm on the show. She goes, watch it. And I said, I'll watch it when I'm done. She goes, no, watch it now. So I had to get out with y'all to watch it. And so it is, and I sent it to Chief in Messenger. I don't know if he can pull it up.
I don't know if the sound will play
but it's a short little clip, a little short of how one of the ways that you can watch Chief Talk on Thursday nights.
All right, I don't think I can pull it up on the stream and play it with the sound, because I feel like when I've played things on my computer with sound going, the sound does not transfer into the
sound deck.
It doesn't transfer into the show. All right, hold on. Let me turn my volume all the way up. Hold on. Let's do this. And that. Hey! All right, so this is the first lady on YouTube. I'll move my microphone here. Let's see if I can do this.
We watch Chief and the Leaves and Bob the Cigar Guy on Chief Talk on Thursday nights. This is how I do it. Follow me for more watching tips.
All right. Thank you.
Brought to you by the First Lady and
Thank you,
CapCut.
First Lady, for creating that. Even though I said like 7 times in that video. Ow! I grabbed the wrong end of my cigar.
And
Hold on.
she has her own First Lady channel called P.S. I'm Sarah. Lots of interesting content, not cigar related content 99% of the time, but kind of fun perspective. She's dealing with today's culture in the world. It's kind of cool. It's not part of the channel. It is her own personal thing. So Chief and I are not responsible for any of the content provided by the First Lady.
If there's any giveaways on there,
it's
we
not
need to
from
know.
here. That's right.
Because we need to redact that giveaway and put it back in inventory. Thank you, First Lady, for the video. Oh, sorry, my back was starting to hurt a little bit. All right, so now to transition a little bit. This week, I did a stick pick of the week. I had
forgotten.
I did remember to do this. So without further ado, this week's stick pick of the week. Alamo Sal. Look at that. That's a beautiful picture. A nice front light, little vignetting on it a little bit. Got that long ash going. Nice little stogie going on. I think that's a Delectados or Delectados cigar. I don't know who makes it, but the ash was dope on it. So I also thought the lighting was pretty cool. So I was like, you know what? That's a really great pick for stick pick of the week. If you don't know what Chief's stick pick of the week is, it is where you get your photos culled through on the Discord. What? The Discord? Second link in the description. Go and check out the Discord. We got a lot of people in there who smoke a lot of cigars, post a lot of cigars, have a lot of fun, talking all sorts of things about tobacco, the culture, the lifestyle, and everything else. Sports, food, whiskeys, all that kind of sort of stuff, making fun of one another. It's a really good time to be in there. So we have a section over there called Now Smoking. Put your photos over there. And the best photo of each week gets figured out by me. And I say, you know what? I like that photo. I'm going to feature that as this week's stick pick of the week. Chief's stogie picture of the week. Post a picture of your cigar on Discord to be considered for next week's pick. Now, not next week, 2 weeks, because next week we're going to be the Barn Smoker. Well, we're going to be traveling for the Barn Smoker, so we will not have Chief Talk next week. But the next 2 weeks of posting on Discord will be in consideration for episode 40 of the year in 2 weeks, the second Thursday of November. So congratulations, Alamo Sal. You win this week's stick pick of the week.
Now we're talking Barn Smoker. Sammy Flo has already asked the question. The First Lady will not be doing a Chief Talk or a First Lady big time live. We will not be doing a big giveaway with the First Lady at Barn Smoker. Sammy Flo always causing the problems.
Hasn't Sammy Flo won like 7 times? Like
he's won twice.
Kick that dude out.
He's won twice.
He's got enough stuff already.
He's won twice.
He doesn't need any more stuff. He's got a ton of stuff. His house is like Studio North.
It's a warehouse of stuff.
Cigar Pop. Start posting, brother. Could I put a link to what? The Discord? Discord's second link in the description every single week.
First Lady's content.
Oh.
And I don't know.
I don't have the link for that. I think it's just she posts stuff on Facebook. So if you're friends with her on Facebook.
Well, she's on Facebook and I think Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I think across all platforms it is PS I am Sarah.
I am not EYEEMM.
but it could have been I/AM.
You said I'm, not I am.
I made sure.
How do you spell? Did you spell that with an H?
SHUSHORE.
Yeah. Funny. Same Flow says, I'm not in it for winning. I'm in it to support the First Lady. Well, then remove your name from winning every week or every month. Cigar Pop says, if you join my group, I have a lot of stock picks for you to choose from. No. Photos on Discord only. Post them on Discord, buddy. Because if I did that, then I'd have to consider all of my boys in the Deadly Breakfast Club, and they'd win every week.
Everybody and everything, right?
They'd win every week.
And that wouldn't draw people to the
Discord
community of
right.
Discord.
We've got a bunch of people over on the Discord, by the way. Hold on, I think I can see it on my computer. Let me see. Don't switch. 70. We have 80 people on cool. Chief Talk Discord, by the way. Just to let you know. Now, there's a couple bots in there, so we'll just say 75 because I see 4 bots. I think we have one more bot. So 75 people on the Chief Talk Discord. So that's actually pretty cool. I didn't realize we had that many people on Discord. Sammy Flow, quit crying. Put your panties up. Cigar Pop says, I keep forgetting because I turned notifications. I get it.
Oh. Tomorrow's Halloween.
Boo.
So I have a question.
Okay. How does a witch grip her broom?
No. Why don't witches have babies?
I know this one. Because their husbands have Halloweenies.
I love that joke.
Funny.
I love that joke.
Do you know what a scary flying insect is?
Mosquito?
Nope. Boobies.
Oh, that's funny. See, when I was in second grade, when I first heard that, it was what did the ghost say to the bee?
Boo.
Bees. Yeah, but that's my Halloween joke.
Yeah, tomorrow should be fun. I'm working at the lounge tomorrow. We have a Halloween party tomorrow at the lounge. I won't be there for it. I'll be trick or treating with my children. Well, I won't be trick or treating. I will be taking them around the neighborhood. Your neighborhood, actually, not you guys.
The first lady loves taking all the grands to trick or treat the neighborhood, and I stay home and hand out the candy to the future.
I would say it was kind of funny. So last Saturday, I worked the Saturday night shift. And shout out, by the way, Thomas, who is a subscriber, hasn't watched in a while, apparently, from what he told me. But a fan of Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief, has moved into the area, and he was up at the lounge on Saturday. I got to meet him for the first time. Nice to meet you, Tommy. Okay, sorry, by the way. We're back to the original story. So, as you all know, I'm a dad, right? I got 3 kids. My coworkers are not parents, except my boss. He's a parent. He has 2 kids. My boss wasn't there Saturday night. So I'd been working for like 30 minutes, and the town that I work in, it's a downtown. We have a food hall, which is kind of like a food court, but in an old school building. It's kind of cool. It's 2 stories. In the upstairs, they were doing like an indoor trunk or treat kind of sort of thing.
Saturday. Oh, were they really?
Yeah. Well, the downtown was doing a downtown trunk or treat on Sunday. Well, this grandma with 2 little kids, I guess it got her days mixed up, and she was walking in front of the shop. She had 2 kids. Kids had they had their costumes on. There was a boy and a girl. The little boy had to have been upper end of 2, maybe just turned 3. Less cognitive than Shepard. That's why I said Shepard's 3, about to turn 4. And then there was a little girl who was probably upper end of 5 to upper end of 6. And I based off of my daughter, who is 5. And they come up to the front of the door, and I'm like, there's no way she's going to bring those kids in here. And sure enough, she opens up the door. We got big glass windows in the front, big glass doors in the front. It's just glass. We can see straight out on the main street, or it's actually Trade Street, but it's like looking onto the main street. I was like, there's no way she's going to come in here with those kids. Sure enough, she opens up the door. She sticks her head in, and she says, "Are you guys doing the trick-or-treating?" And both of my coworkers, one male, one female, said, "Nah, we're not doing that." Well, my boss, I think it was my boss, had bought a big bag of Costco candy. One of the nice, name brand bags with M&Ms and Butterfingers and Snickers. And actually, Bob, you ended up eating some.
I ate a Snicker
Friday. But we had this big bag that nobody's finished off. And the dad in me immediately erupts. Yes! Yes, we are. So I grabbed the bag of candy and I go over and I put it on my dad pants, and I'm like, I look at the little boy who he's a race car. So it's a cloth race car, and it's got like suspenders, and he's like wearing it, and he's got a NASCAR hat on. And I'm like, "Whoa, what are you, buddy?" "I'm a race car. I got my dad's NASCAR hat on." Like, "Yes, you do, man. That's awesome." I asked if he had never heard of Lightning McQueen. He did not. Okay.
You're old.
Stupid kid. So he opens up his bag. He's got 2 pieces of candy in it. I'm like, I ain't letting my boy go. Reach in that bag, get a handful of M&Ms and Snickers and Reese's and whatnot. Plop it down. So the little girl comes around. She opens up her bag. Same thing. 2 pieces of candy. Nah, ain't letting that happen. Reach in. Big old hand of candy. Put it in the bag. "Thanks for coming in, guys. I'm so happy for you to come by." "You didn't ask me what I am." She's very obviously a ninja. I was like, "Oh, are you a ninja?" She's like, "I'm a pink ninja." She was. She had a pink mask, face smock on thing. She had the whole hoodie thing going on, little katanas on her back and whatnot. So they were very thankful. "Thank you." Go walking in, the grandma's like, "Thank you so much." And so they walk out. And I look back at my coworkers. They look at me like I am the stupidest person in the world. I'm like, y'all ain't parents. Y'all don't know. So we still had a bunch of candy left. So we had this round, almost like the same stuff that like bunt cakes are at Walmart. So kind of sort of thing. We had a thing of cookies of those. But they had been there since Thursday, and they were starting to get hard. Nobody was eating them. So I was like, I'm going to throw these out. I'll put the candy, because we still had a lot of candy. It's a Costco bag. So I dumped the candy into the bowl, and I go put it outside on a table that we have out front where people can sit. And sure enough, throughout the night for about 3 hours, kids come by, stop and come back, get some candy. So I told my coworkers, we need to go get some of our yard guards out of the back and just put them next to it and say for the moms and dads only. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I'm sure tomorrow we ordered another bag of candy. So I think tomorrow I might be wheeling and dealing some candy. But kids will be in school, so I probably won't have any kids come by during the work tomorrow. Now Saturday, kids might come by. We might have more candy, and I'll wheel and deal some candy.
We got to go find the grumpy guys that are sitting in there just by themselves or doing their office
we
work
got
and
some,
say, "So who are you growing up as, young man? Who are you today? Let me guess what costume you're in. You are the old man who says, 'Hey, get off my lawn, kids. Here, have a piece of candy.'" And I bet people would eat that up. They'd love that. That's fun.
Hold on, my wife's texting me.
So while Chief is busy doing that, I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's good or not. I don't, but I would love feedback on watching this week's podcast. It drops tomorrow, 5:00, and I guarantee you have never seen a podcast like this, one way or the other. And there are 4 hosts on this podcast that are going to be recurring themed people, and I think you're going to find somebody that you're going to love, and you're going to find somebody you're going to just shake your head about, and that's probably me because I'm a goof. But I would love for y'all to watch it and give me feedback and tell me if I'm on the right track. I really would. I want to do a great job, and I am stretching myself and trying to hone my craft. So any support would be great. If you've got other things to do, it is Halloween. Make sure you're doing that first. But if you have time, check it out.
Check it out. That's from Black Eyed Peas. Sorry.
That's funny.
All right, so probably gonna end the show here because it's 10 o'clock. Made it a lot of talking tonight. Do go check out Chevette Report. There were a bunch of press releases that went out today. I was personally handed the Davidoff press release today, which was really cool. So the Davidoff Year of the Horse went out on Chevette Report today. Also, Placencia's Year of the Horse went out on Chevette Report today. Placencia's TAA cigar went out on the Chevette Report today. Tomorrow is going to be something from Cohiba. I can't remember what it is. And then Drew Estate's new cigar they're releasing at Corona Cigar next weekend. The new Girl with No Name cigar.
And I think there's the Aganorsa.
Yes, you sent me one from Cigars Daily.
So there'll be lots and lots of stuff to read about.
Yes, go read it. Sorry, still getting text from my wife.
And this rare pink is delicious. It's just as good as the other one. They only come out once a year. They are limited release. They are not inexpensive, but
the short story is like $12.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, they are good. They're solid. Nice
also,
nice
tell me
creamy,
about
but dark.
that Don Carlos 90th. Pretty good, isn't it?
It was nice. And
Pretty good cigar.
I'll be dropping a video on that soon. And Mr. Blanco will be guesting with his because even though all of Chief's content is owned by his company or by the store he works at,
yes.
but my content is my content, and I shot video from my phone.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the audio will be good. I think it's all right. So you'll be able to hear him tell the story. And there is an interesting,
aren't you?
There's an interesting story about the 90th.
You're gonna be asking me for my audio, aren't you?
And the whole deal.
Ask Ernie tomorrow.
With price points and everything else like that is really, really interesting. And the cigar's good too.
If you do want to hear a mic'd up Jose Blanco, go check out Cameroon Cigars on Instagram.
All right, no, wait. This is the Bob the Cigar Guy show. You are not on the clock for Cameroon. You are not promoting Cameroon's content.
But if you want to go check out Cameroon Cigars Cigar Lounge, I think it is on Instagram. Tomorrow goes up a mic'd Jose Blanco video.
You just got docked half your pay for tonight's shoot talk. All right.
What's half of zero?
That's right. You get nothing.
All right. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It was good to be back. I hate that we missed last week. We're here this week. We're gonna miss next week. It's like hit and miss. But second Thursday of November, we'll come back with all sorts of fun from our tales and trips of did we fly or not. Actually, Bob, you're not flying at all, so you're not worried.
I'm gonna be flying at a very low elevation.
Altitude.
That'll work.
All right. So we love you all. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Again, do make sure you go check out our show sponsors, Drew Estate Cigar, Natura Cigar, at your local humidors or online at different purveyors. If you get to see anybody from either one of those companies, let them know we love you. Or you love them. You love them. They love us.
And tell me they're doing a good job too.
And again, thanks for showing up. That's all we really need you to do is just keep showing up. Not only does it stroke our ego, it also makes the community better. When there's more of you guys and gals to sit in here and talk with each other back and forth, it's a really good time. So thank you all for hanging out with us. Love you all. See ya in 2 weeks.
Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go. Go.